Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. On3 wrote a story earlier today, top 10 breakout candidates in college football in 2024, and there were some names on there that made a lot of sense. I think Jackson Arnold makes a ton of sense. You're talking about a guy who was a five-star recruit who's now taken over at Oklahoma, a very high-profile school. That makes a lot of sense. Nico Iamaleava. I'll get that. That'll come off the tongue quickly come the fall, but it's not there yet. But he's a five-star recruit. He's playing in Josh Heupel's offense. That makes a ton of sense.
I feel like it's like Tua, how Tua was when he first came out. Nobody knew to say his name, but now everybody does.
I can do Tagovailoa pretty quickly. I think Iamaleava is going to get there pretty quickly, but I'm not there yet. But those two guys make a ton of sense. Connor Wigman at Texas A&M. We've seen some flashes from him as a young player, certainly unfortunately against LSU 2 years ago, and then early in the season last year before he got hurt, but a guy that's got a ton of potential. You're looking at Brock Vandegrift, who's a quarterback at Kentucky that was a five-star, signed with Georgia. Now he's going to take over the reins at Kentucky. All those make a ton of sense, and they're all young players looking to kind of break out as they get their chance to start. Well, that's not the case with the LSU representative on this list. Not a young player, a fifth-year player, but one whose role is going to change, we all believe, in this LSU offense, and that is Kyren Lacy at wide receiver. 1-3 says that Lacy's been a remarkably steady presence over the last 4 years in college, putting up 2 solid years of production at Louisiana Lafayette and 2 quality years at LSU. He's coming off something of a breakout campaign in 2023, going for 558 yards and 7 touchdowns receiving, but Lacy's inclusion on this list is as much about opportunity as potential. With Malik Nabers and Brian Thomas Jr. gone, LSU has needed a wideout to step up in a big way. That gives Lacy the potential to be a breakout player this fall. And I totally agree with that. Kyren Lacy has the ingredients to be an excellent player and a breakout player at LSU. He's got the height at 6'2", he's 215 pounds, and he was good as the third option last year. He had 7 touchdowns. I mean, you're talking about like Jarvis Landry is his sophomore year, which is his second year. First year with Zach Mettenberger, only had 5. He had 15 in his career at LSU, and Kyren Lacy last year had 7. Like, that's a pretty healthy number. 525 yards as a third option is a pretty healthy number, but we all expect that number is going to balloon this year. We hope north of 1,000 yards. And when I think about Kyren Lacy last year, unfortunately, I do think about that drop against Florida State. That was a crucial drop that he had there on a third down that forced a punt, and the snowball really got going on LSU. Daniels threw an interception on Malik Nabers' slip on the next drive, and things really spiraled for LSU. But after that, which there was a lot of football to be played after that, Kyren Lacy played really well. I don't know that he's the fastest wide receiver on LSU's team. I don't know that he's the most physical wide receiver on LSU's team. But I think he's got a chance to be the most productive and veteran wide receiver on LSU's team. You bring in C.J. Daniels, you expect some good things from him. You bring in Xavier Thomas, you expect good things from him. I like some of the young wide receivers that LSU has on this team that haven't really had a chance, because when you've got Brian Thomas and Malik Nabers, who go in the first round of the draft, and you've got a fourth-year senior in Kyren Lacy, and you've got a second-year veteran at this point in Mason Taylor, like, there's not a lot of room for those young receivers to come up. But now the exact opposite is true, because you've got 2,500 yards worth of receiving wide open to you, because Brian Thomas and Malik Nabers are gone. And I think it makes a lot of sense for Kyren Lacy to become a household name in the SEC this year. I don't know that LSU requires it to be great, but it certainly is a good start, and it's the safest bet for Garrett Nussmeier and this team. I thought Kyren Lacy had a really nice spring, and I expect that he will be the leader of a group that's looking for some more guys to step in once they get to fall camp coming up in the fall. I think LSU's passing game is going to be good this year. I think that while I do have some questions about the offensive line's ability to run block, because these same guys didn't block really well for the run game against Alabama or against Florida State last year, I do trust them implicitly to protect the passer. And once you protect the passer, it starts with Campbell and Jones. Once they protect the passer, it's incumbent upon the wide receivers to do their work, and then Nussmeier to distribute. And I think Kyren Lacy is more than capable of being really good in that portion of the game. So Your ranking concerns for me on LSU's team, the passing game, specifically Kyren Lacy, way down the list. Way down the list at this point in the summer. I think Kyren Lacy is going to be a really, really good one. And I'm pumped that he was included on this list of the top 10 breakout stars, not in the SEC, not at wide receiver, in the country. He's included in this list. And it's a lot of guys who are really young, but you're talking about a guy that's an older guy that may have his best year as a Tiger coming up. Incidentally, just to kind of bow this thing together, one of the names on this list, LSU will get to know really, really quickly, and that is Miller Moss at Southern Cal. Guy that was good in the bowl game against Louisville, 23 of 33 for 372 and 6 touchdowns. He was a 4-star prospect. He's got Lincoln Riley's keys now, got to drive that car. Maybe Kyren Lacy and Miller Moss are locked up in a scoring duel coming up in the desert in Las Vegas. Interesting to see him included here as well. So I thought that was a cool little nugget. Wanted to pass along here. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.